the 5 supreme meanings of the word Buddha. Welcome back, everyone, to Mind Podcast. We delve into the teachings of Buddhism and explore paths that lead to personal development and enlightenment. Today, we focus on the term Buddha, a word that is more than just a name. It represents a profound state of awakening. Originating from the Sanskrit root, Buddha means awakening or becoming aware. This fundamental concept is central to Buddhism, encapsulating the essence of the transformative journey from ignorance to enlightenment. The meaning of the word Buddha is wisdom and awakening. In the Heart Sutra, a quarter of the words used mean wisdom. The term Buddha signifies awakening, while Bodhi implies spiritual awakening. Sambodhi represents perfect awakening, and Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi signifies complete and ultimate enlightenment. Bodhisattva refers to a being committed to attaining full awakening. All these terms share a common root, Buddha, which means wisdom. Terms like Bodhi or wisdom also derive from this root. The root meaning of Buddha encompasses many aspects. It is untranslatable, carrying numerous meanings, making it adaptable and captivating. No other language has a word quite like Buddha, with such depth of meaning. Now, let us explore the 5 greatest meanings of the word. First, Buddha means awakening. The primary meaning of Buddha is awakening, the awakening of oneself and the awakening of others, achieving enlightenment. In a general sense, it contrasts with sleep, opposing the disorientation of illusion from which the enlightened awaken as though from a haze. This is the main meaning of wisdom. Buddha will awaken you. Ordinarily, people are asleep, even when they believe they are awake. When walking on the street, you might feel fully aware of your own mind. However, from a Buddha's perspective, you are in a deep sleep because countless dreams and thoughts are swirling in your mind, obscuring your inner light. This is a kind of ignorance. Your eyes may be wide open, yet many people are in a dreamlike state even with their eyes open. The Buddha says you are walking in sleep with open eyes, but the eyes of the soul are closed. You still do not know who you are. You do not look at your true self. You are not fully awake. A mind full of thoughts is not awake and cannot be. Only when thoughts are dispelled through meditation, with no clouds obscuring it, can the mind allow the sun to shine brightly and the sky to be entirely clear. This is a wise mind, an awakened mind. Wisdom is the ability to live in the present. The more you are pulled by the past or driven by the future, the less intelligent you become. Wisdom is the ability to exist here and now, to be present in this moment and nowhere else. Then you are awake. For example, if you are sitting at home and it suddenly catches fire, you are in danger. At that moment, you will be fully awake. In that instant, you will not think much. In that moment, you forget the past entirely. In that moment, memories will not scream within you about the romance of loving someone 30 years ago, or the lingering aroma of the delicious food you had at a 5-star restaurant. You will abandon those thoughts when your house is on fire. You can no longer tolerate such thoughts. Suddenly, you are in the moment. The house is burning, and your life is at risk. You will not dream of the future or what you plan to do tomorrow. Tomorrow has no value. Yesterday is meaningless, and even today loses significance. Only this moment matters. This is the first meaning of Buddha wisdom, and it is a profound realization. A person who truly wishes to achieve enlightenment, to truly become a Buddha, must live each moment with such intensity. Do you need to constantly live with this kind of urgency? The first meaning is the antithesis of sleep, and naturally, you can only see reality when you are not asleep. You can confront it and look straight at the core of truth, or call it God, but only if you are awake. Do you understand the significance of living intensely as if your body is on fire? Being fully awake means having wisdom. That wisdom brings freedom, and it brings truth. Buddha is awareness. The second meaning of Buddha is awareness, being aware and attentive to reality. The Buddha is one who has recognized that the false is false and has open eyes to see that truth is truth. Recognizing, that the false is false is the first step to understanding what truth is. Only when you see the false as false can you understand what true reality is. You cannot continue living in illusion, in your beliefs and prejudices, if you want to know the truth. The false must be acknowledged as false. This is the second meaning of Buddha, realizing the false as false, the wrong as wrong. For instance, you may have believed in God. You were born into Christianity, Hinduism, or Islam, and learned that there is a God you must revere. If you do not believe, you will suffer. The same goes for Muslims. There is only one God, and there is no other deity, and there is only one prophet of God, Muhammad, and no other. Muslims believe in three things: that there is only one God, Allah, that Muhammad is the last prophet, and that the Quran is the only holy scripture. The other day, Noura Nassin, an atheist, was here, and I asked him, "Noura Nassin, now that you have become an atheist, what about Allah?" He replied, "There is no Allah, and Muhammad is the only prophet." This statement may sound profound. Muhammad remains a prophet, but it was based on the condition that you believe in God, and you did believe. This is faith. Whether or not God exists has nothing to do with your belief. Truth has nothing to do with your belief. Whether you believe or not does not make a difference to the truth. However, if you believe in God, you will see, or at least think that you see Him. If you do not believe, your skepticism will prevent you from knowing. All beliefs are obstacles because they become your biases, your barriers, what the Buddha called avarnas, veils. A wise person neither believes nor disbelieves anything. They are open to whatever may come. If God exists, they will recognize it, but not through belief. Truth only reveals itself to those who have no beliefs. Once you believe, there is no space left for truth to enter. You cannot see anything that contradicts your beliefs. You will become fearful, uneasy, and you will tremble. You have sacrificed too much for your beliefs, too much time, too many prayers. If someone has devoted 50 years to their belief, how can they suddenly accept that God may not exist? Likewise, if someone has spent their whole life as an atheist, firmly believing there is no God, how can they explore the possibility of God's existence? They will avoid it. I am not discussing whether God exists or not. What I am addressing is what pertains to you, not to God. What you need is a mind, an open mind, an intelligence that clings to no belief. Then, you are like a mirror, reflecting what is before you without distortion. This is the second meaning of Buddha. An intelligent person looks directly at life, and whatever happens, they are ready to accept it. Nothing obstructs their vision. They have a clear, deep understanding. Only a few people like this can find the truth. Buddha is wisdom, knowing, understanding. The third meaning of the word Buddha is wisdom, knowing, and understanding. The Buddha understands what reality is. He comprehends what is real, and through this understanding, he frees himself from all bindings. Here, understanding means comprehension, not through the accumulation of knowledge. The Buddha is not a collector of knowledge. An intelligent person does not focus much on facts and information. Rather, they are more concerned with what understanding truly is. Their genuine interest lies in comprehension, not in the accumulation of knowledge. Knowing is an active verb, referring to a continuous process, whereas knowledge pertains to the accumulation of past experiences stored in memory. Knowing is about the present, while knowledge belongs to the past. Knowledge gives the illusion of knowing without actual understanding. Knowledge is counterfeit. It is deceptive, giving you a feeling that you understand when, in reality, you know nothing. You can accumulate as much knowledge as you want. You may master knowledge, write books, earn degrees, have PhDs and MAs, but you remain as ignorant as ever, as foolish as ever. These degrees do not change you. They cannot transform you. In fact, your ignorance may grow stronger, as it is now supported by credentials, able to assert itself through certificates. It cannot prove itself through life, but can do so through diplomas. It cannot validate itself in any other way, but it flourishes through diplomas, certificates, and societal recognition. People think you know, and you think you nen, ow. Do you see this? Those considered knowledgeable are often as ignorant as everyone else, sometimes worse. It is rare to find a truly intelligent person in academic circles. Very rare. I have seen intelligent farmers, but I have never seen intelligent professors. I have seen wise lumberjacks, but I have never seen a wise professor. Why? What is wrong with them? The clearest issue is that they rely on knowledge. They don't need to understand, but cling to information. They know indirectly. Direct understanding requires courage, and only a few adventurous souls dare to know directly. These are not people who choose well-trodden paths, but rather those who traverse narrow, uncharted trails through dense forests where no footsteps have gone before. The risk is that they may get lost, and the cost is high. So why bother when you can know indirectly? You can simply sit in a lounge, go to a library or a university, and collect information. You can accumulate a lot of information, and as you absorb it, your memory grows daily with knowledge, but your wisdom does not. Often, the more you know without truly understanding, the less intelligent you become. There is a story like this. A woman bought a box of fruit, but didn't know how to open it. Unsure of what to do, she went to find a cookbook. While she was flipping through pages and searching, her servant had already opened it. She asked, "But how did you know how to open it?" He replied, "Madam, because I am illiterate, I have to use my mind. This is exactly how it always is. That is why farmers, gardeners, and woodcutters are often more intelligent. They have a mind unencumbered by mere knowledge. They cannot read, so they have to use their minds. People must live and must use their minds." The third meaning of Buddha is knowing in the sense of understanding. The Buddha is one who sees the ultimate truth. He comprehends reality, and through this understanding, he finds liberation. What does that mean? It means that you are afraid. For example, teachings like the Heart Sutra cause many people to feel fear. Why don't you want to stop being afraid? If you want to stop being afraid, you have to understand fear. You want to avoid your fear of death. If fear is inside you, you will create a tough outer shell to appear strong so that no one knows you are afraid. And not only that, you won't even know you are afraid, because this hard shell will protect you from others and even protect you from yourself. An intelligent person does not avoid any situation. If it is fear, they will face it, for the way out is through understanding. If they feel fear and tremble, they will put everything aside. First, this fear must be confronted. They will go straight into it and try to understand it. They won't try not to be afraid. They will ask only one question: what is this fear? Is it real? Is it part of me? Is it my reality? I must experience it. I must understand it. If I don't, there is a part of myself that I will never know. And if I keep avoiding understanding these parts, how can I understand myself? Then I won't understand fear, won't understand death, won't understand anger, won't understand hatred, won't understand jealousy or other flaws. So how can I understand myself? All these things are you. They are your true self. You must open all these doors, every corner. You must explore fear. Even if you tremble, don't worry. Go in trembling. Trembling is far better than running away, because when you run away, that part of yourself remains unknown, and you will become more fearful, unable to look at it as it grows larger. It will keep expanding. If you don't face it now, at this moment, tomorrow it will have existed 24 hours longer. Beware, it will grow deeper roots, its branches will grow wider, and it will become stronger, making it harder to overcome. It is better to go in now, even if it's already late. And if you go in and to observe means without prejudice. Observation means you do not condemn fear as something bad. Who knows? It may not be so terrible. Who knows what it really is? An explorer must be open to anything that might happen. They cannot close their heart, as a closed heart and exploration cannot go together. They will enter. If it brings suffering, they will endure that pain, but will still go in, trembling, hesitating, but they will go straight into it, saying, "This is my territory, I must know what it is." What if there is a treasure hidden there, and fear was born to protect it? If you dig deep into your fear, you will find love. That is why, when you love, fear vanishes, and when you are afraid, you cannot love. What does this mean? It is a simple equation. Fear and love cannot coexist. It means that the energy meant for love has turned into fear, leaving no room for love. If it becomes love, there is no space for fear. Go straight into your fear, dive into it, and you will find a great treasure hidden there. Behind fear is love, behind anger lies compassion, and behind desire lies stillness and wisdom. Go deep into every negative aspect, and you will find the positive. And when you know the negative and the positive, the final result will be transcendence. This is the meaning of Buddha: understanding, intelligence, wisdom. Buddha is enlightenment and being enlightened. The fourth meaning is enlightenment and being enlightened. The Buddha is light, he has become light. And because he is light, it is natural and inevitable for him to radiate this light to others. He is illumination. His darkness has vanished, and the flame within him burns brightly, a flame without smoke. This meaning contrasts with darkness, blindness, and ignorance. This is the fourth meaning: to become light, to be enlightened. Normally you are darkness, a continent of darkness, an unexplored land. Humanity is curious, exploring the Himalayas, conquering the Pacific, investigating the moon and Mars. But the only thing humanity has yet to try is inner exploration. Humanity has landed on the moon, but has never set foot in the depths of its own inner self. This is truly strange. Perhaps landing on the moon was just an escape, climbing Mount Everest, merely running away. Maybe you avoid going within because you are very afraid, and you substitute it with external explorations to feel comfortable. Otherwise, you would feel very guilty. You climb mountains and feel satisfied, yet the highest peak within remains untouched. You dive into the Pacific, but the greatest ocean within is still unexplored. You fly to the moon, wasting your energy to reach it when the true moon lies within, because the true light is within. Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is within you." The wise will look within first before going anywhere else. They will explore their inner self, that is the first thing, and it must be prioritized above all else. Only by knowing oneself should one venture elsewhere, and then wherever you go, you will bring happiness, peace, silence, and joy around you. Thus, the fourth meaning is enlightenment. Wisdom is a spark, and if nurtured, it will become a flame, light, and warmth. It can become illumination, it can become life, it can become love. All of this is encompassed in the word enlightenment. An enlightened person has no dark corners within themselves. Everything is like the morning when the sun rises. The darkness of sadness has vanished, and the night's darkness has also disappeared. The earth awakens. To become a Buddha is to reach the dawn within, the supreme function of wisdom. Buddha is depth. The fifth meaning of Buddha is depth. You have a deep abyss within, an endless depth that needs to be explored. The fifth meaning of Buddha is also depth, removing all obstacles and penetrating the core of your being, which is the heart. That is why the most important sutra in Buddhism is called the Heart Sutra, Prajnaparamita Hridaya Sutra. To penetrate, one must try to penetrate various aspects of life. Your deep-seated desires and intense passions are forms of penetration, but they are penetration into others. This same penetration must happen within yourself. You must penetrate your own being. If you do so, you can achieve supreme happiness and joy, as vast as the universe and as infinite as time. The fifth meaning of Buddha is penetration. When this happens, there is a meeting with yourself. You become whole, you become one, and then all external desires disappear. The D of desire is liberation, nirvana. In conclusion, the Buddha's path is the path of wisdom. Remember that Buddha is not just a title reserved for Siddhartha Gautama. Buddha is the state he attained. His name was Siddhartha Gautama. One day he became the Buddha. The term Buddha and Christ in Greek have the same meaning. The name of Jesus was not Christ. It symbolizes the ultimate blossoming that happened to him, as it did for the Buddha. Siddhartha Gautama is just one among many Buddhas. All of us have Buddha nature within us, but this potential is just a seed within you. If it grows into a great tree, blossoms and dances in the sky, then you will become a Buddha. The path of the Buddha is the path of wisdom. It is not the path of pure emotion. Not for those who are easily moved, for they cannot be reached this way. There are other paths for them. The path of devotion, bhakti yoga. The Buddha's path is called jnana yoga, the path of wisdom. The Buddha's path is one of meditation, not one of love. Similarly, Buddha has another root word, jina, which forms the foundation of jnana. Jinya means knowledge or understanding, while prajna means wisdom, and prajnaparamita refers to transcendent wisdom. Samjya means perception or sensitivity, and vijnana means consciousness. These root words all come from jnana, meaning to know. You will see these words repeated often in this sutra, and not just in this sutra, but in all the Buddhist scriptures. There are a few more words you will also see frequently, such as vid, which means to know, derived from vid in Hinduism, or man, which means mind, with manana meaning engaging the mind, and chitta meaning consciousness. These words are like stepping stones along the Buddha's path, a path of wisdom. And other thing to remember is that this scripture points to something beyond mere wisdom. Wisdom must be used, not discarded. It must be surpassed, not underestimated, and it can only be surpassed once you have reached the highest level. Your wisdom must continue to grow, and at a certain point, wisdom will have done all it can. In that moment, bid farewell to wisdom, It has served you on a long journey, taken you very far. It is a good vessel, the boat that carried you across the river. But once you have reached the other shore, you must leave it behind. You do not need to carry the boat on your head. That would be ignorance. The Buddha's path goes through wisdom, but must transcend it. And when wisdom has brought you all it can, it is no longer necessary. Finally, you must let it go, for its mission is complete. Once the illness is cured, the medicine is no longer needed. And when you are free of both illness and medicine, you are truly free. If you have a thorn in your foot causing pain, you use another thorn to remove the first one. Afterward, you discard both thorns. You do not keep the thorn that helped you, for now it is useless. The work of wisdom is to help you realize your true self. Once this is accomplished, and you have recognized your true self, you no longer need the means. You can say goodbye with gratitude. The Buddha's path is the path of pure wisdom, calm, serene, yet transcending wisdom in the end.